Hope asks Thomas to forgive him, insisting she doesn't believe what she said about him. It's Oak. He shrugs. She rambles off at a mile a minute with excuses about talking to her mom, but she really believes he's a good man now. You've totally transformed yourself. You've transformed me. How I feel about. They look into each other's eyes. Hope backs off and says she regrets what she said. Thomas is just being nice to make her feel better about the cruel things she said about him. He says again that it's okay. I get it. No, Hope says. He wouldn't get what led up to it, and things I was saying to my mom. Thomas looks intrigued and confused. Hope fills Thomas in on what they talked about, and he tells Hope that it was similar to what he and Liam discussed. Hope says Thomas is fine. It's me. I'm the one that. She catches herself. Thomas says he should apologize to her. It makes sense that people would think he'd slip up again, but them constantly coming to her with their worries has to be stressful. But he swears it won't happen. They both can feel he's moved beyond. Hope, I promise you, I care for you, but I'm never going to hurt you again. She looks even more worried as she nods. In the other office, Brooke looks at Hope for the future release and flashes back to the conversation she just had with Hope about Thomas. Taylor comes in saying she's killing time while she waits for lunch with Steffi. She asks if Brooke's okay. Brooke isn't sure how to answer, and Taylor tells her she could either answer that she's fine or something's wrong. She then asks if she can help with anything. Brooke says it's nice to know her new bestie is there for her. Taylor asks if everything's okay. I hope so. It's about my daughter. Taylor tries getting more, and Brooke admits she's thinking about the changes in Hope and her lines since allowing Thomas back in. Taylor puts an upbeat, bubbly spin on things and says Hope knows what she wants. That gets a look from Brooke. Taylor thinks Hope's doing everything right, challenges or not. My son has made choices in the past that he'd never make today. Ever. Hope appreciates his efforts, and Taylor appreciates Hope and Brooke. They let him close the chapter on his obsession. Nothing's going to derail that and cause Thomas to backslide. Over at Spencer, Wyatt's wheeling and dealing on the phone when Liam walks in. He asks Liam about our little Tommy boy. Liam just wanted Thomas to say something, anything Liam hadn't heard a dozen times before. But he didn't. Wyatt scoffs that nothing has changed and Liam's just going to keep on worrying about Thomas. At least Thomas knows Liam's keeping an eye on him. But when Wyatt asks if Thomas is just waiting them out, Liam admits he has no clue what's going on in his nemesis' head. He thanks Wyatt for being one of the few people to agree there's reason for concern, but doesn't want to become an overprotective, overbearing husband. The one thing that's been keeping me sane lately is Hope, how she stays connected with me. Well, that doesn't bode well. Wyatt tells Liam to go with Hope's love being strong enough to keep her away from Thomas forever. Hope's made her love for him clear. Is he reciprocating, though? In the show's last few minutes, Wyatt tells Liam that he needs to show Hope he feels the same. Turn on that Spencer charm. Liam does stuff, but he realizes he needs to do more to show Hope that I don't just trust her, I trust her around Thomas. Brooke, meanwhile, agrees that Thomas seems to have his act together, and Taylor says Liam will come around too. Thomas is winning back everyone's trust, especially Hope's. Brooke looks super unsettled. Hope tells Thomas she believes in him. The work he's put in shows in all aspects of his life. This Thomas is a good man and one I would like to have around for a very long time. But what she said was horrible. He urges her to let it go again, he understands. Except he doesn't, she insists. She was trying to convince Brooke to see that there weren't feelings beyond co-parenting and coworkers. Hope, but there are feelings between us. Horrified, she flashes back to the last few weeks. Feelings about gratitude and appreciation. Oh, she's relieved. Then he takes her hand and says he owes everything to her as she stares uncertainly into his eyes.